It's about Navalny too, since this is the clip coming up. And a similar thought I have since early in the show about bourgeois infighting, and it's not really for us, and it's not about us, so therefore, like we really don't need to be like picking a side here, right? It's similar with the Alexei Navalny, who's the opposition leader in Russia. It's similar to this case. Heath, you get the ads we give you. Oh, man. Let's play this.
Anger is pouring out onto the streets of the Russian capital. Protesters furious at the imprisonment of Alexei Navalny are making their voices heard. Let him go, they chant. Earlier, outside the Moscow court, police detained hundreds to make sure the hearing passed off undisturbed as the real drama unfolded inside. Alexei Navalny glanced towards his wife in the gallery, drawing a heart on the pane of his glass cage as the judge read out the decision. Russia's most prominent Putin critic was being sent to jail. Somebody doesn't want me to set foot in Russia, he told the court earlier. The reason for this is the hatred and fear of one person who is hiding in a bunker. I've offended him so deeply by the fact that I survived, he said. Outside, his lawyers told CNN Navalny took the court's decision bravely, as usual, but they said they will definitely appeal. It was these images of the opposition leader groaning in agony after being poisoned by a suspected nerve agent in Siberia last year that shocked the world. His recovery and defiant return to arrest in Russia has also struck a chord. Last week, slamming his detention as blatantly illegal, telling the judge in his latest hearing that he was being persecuted because he survived assassination and that President Putin himself was behind it, something the Kremlin has denied. His main grievance against me, he told the court, is that he'll go down in history as Putin the poisoner. For the past 2 weeks, this country has been rocked by some of the biggest anti-Kremlin protests it's ever seen. Tens of thousands have turned out demanding change and for Navalny to be set free. Critics say a heavy-handed response, with thousands detained nationwide, underlines how threatened the Kremlin really feels. But the Kremlin tells CNN President Putin himself isn't even following the trials of his biggest critic. Instead, the Russian president was shown meeting teachers of the future generation. But it's the generation of Russians now protesting on the streets outside, inspired by Alexei Navalny, that may yet prove Putin's most dangerous challenge. Well, Wolf, right now, supporters of Alexei Navalny are urging their supporters to disperse and go home and clear the streets of the Russian capital. But they say a government that kills its opponents and imprisons innocent people will not be tolerated, and they're vowing to be back on the streets again soon.
Interesting framing there. Oh my God, it's the same fucking ad I watched. It is. Bastards. They fucking got me. Look, here's the deal with Navalny. It's pretty fucking simple, right? The dude is a fucking Russian nationalist in like the strictest sense. He does not like Muslims. He's pretty xenophobic. Allegations of being a neo-Nazi have been prevalent since he's been in connections with sort of neo-Nazi groups in the past. Navalny is not a hero of liberalism, right? Even that, right? He's not a hero of the working class in any fashion. He is definitely in opposition to Putin, who's also a Russian nationalist as well. Just a different, shade of Russian nationalism, I guess. And the idea that, like, he can be like Navalny can be anything better than Putin. It's just ridiculous because one, the guy is a fucking Boris Yeltsin disciple. The guy comes from the Yeltsin sort of line of political ideology in Russia, right? Same with fucking Putin. So they both come from the same Yeltsin line. So the idea that like Navalny is any significant material difference than Putin is just ridiculous. The idea that he's going to bring about this massive freedom and liberty to the Russian people is just wrong. Okay? Like, it's just inaccurate, and it's 100% Western propaganda. And that's not saying that Putin's a great guy, because Putin is not a friend of the working class. He's not a friend of the left in any way. The only thing that he does well is that he supports old relationships that the Soviet Union had with certain countries. So that's cool to see. But other than that, it's not like this is a fight where we have to pick a side. This is two bourgeois nationalists fighting it out for control of Russian oligarchs. Like, that's all it is. It's a shit-throwing contest between two people that are pretty much aligned in a lot of ways. So I don't see the legitimacy to like actually discussing it and like acting like Navalny is some freedom fighter, like I see a lot of people in Western media do.